Hey, Daily Dosers. I know you're wondering what is going on. What is all of this here? But I just finished recording the Spanish sermon for this weekend, and like, just bear with me for a sec, because I have my notes in Spanish, and then I'm doing the daily dose in English, and sometimes my brain goes like. But just stick with me, because I think I have something really good for you. I want to read you a story that I found and that I use on my analogy this weekend. It goes like this. There's a story about a man from Australia charged with stealing a sheep from another man's field. The case made it to court. Unbelievable. And the judge decided to hear the case because of the magnitude of it. So maybe almost kind of funny. He was like, "We'll do it. I'm going to interview the sheep." So he ordered the plaintiffs to step outside and call. He walked outside and called. The sheep raised its head, looked around, and then went right back to eating grass. So then the judge told the shepherd to call the sheep. The defendant called, and the sheep ran through the door. The sheep knows him. Case dismissed. And I think that is such an incredible story that kind of ties up to the verse I want to share with you today in John 10. My name is David Garcia, and I am the associate pastor for Spanish ministries here at the North Coast Church in Vista, in the Vista campus. So I'm glad to be with you guys. Thank you for having me. But let's go to John, okay? Let's go to chapter 10, and then we're going to be on verse 17. It says, I'm translating in my head, but it goes, "My sheep know my voice. I know them, and they follow me." So that's what I want to share with you today, because I know this is a little bit of a touchy subject for some people, okay? Now, this verse says, "My sheep hear my voice." He says that we must listen to the voice of God, and although the Bible remains to be the main way we can hear God's voice today, there are other ways that God speaks to us, okay? And so he's giving us an entire book with incredible things and stories. And this is important, guys. I'm going to tell you why. This is important for this reason. Reading the word help us to, one, knowing the heart of God, which is super important. Number two, to know what God wants. Number three, it helps us discern three things: when God speaks, when the enemy speaks, or when the world speaks. Then, when God wants us to talk to others, and I pause that for a moment because I know that's so trivial and it's so strange, but guess what? It says that if we don't worship God, the rocks will cry out. And when no one wanted to take the message, like, God made a donkey speak. So like, God speaks through worship and through nature and everything. Here's the thing, guys. It's important to read the Bible, because if we know the heart of God and we know what God wants, that helps us discern when he's speaking to us. And if someone comes to us and say, "Hey, I think I have something for you," this is what's super important, right? When God wants us to talk to others, and when others are talking to us about God, has to be consistent with his character, okay? And it also has to be in order with his word. And lastly, has to be backed up by his power. So hey, don't limit God. That's my encouragement for you today. Don't limit God. I hope this challenges you. I hope this encourages you guys. Like, God is out there. He is waiting for you. He wants a relationship with you. Know his voice. Follow him.